You're listening to Ecstasy Radio, your number one free rock and metal radio show. Powered by our friends over at Unique Beats. Let's get this rock and rollin'. Hey, I'm DJ Doc, and I'm the host of Ecstasy Radio, your number one free rock and metal radio show. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you're new here, welcome to Ecstasy Radio. I hope everyone had a fantastic holiday. I most definitely did, and I have a very special surprise for you. Later on in the show, I'll be joined by none other than the band Inner Outlines, and I'm really looking forward to picking their brain a bit, and I know they're excited to be here, so I hope you guys are excited to have them here. I most definitely am. But before anything else, I've got some rock and metal news to cover with you. Ville Valo, the former frontman of Him, will be debuting his first ever solo album, Neon Noir, on January 13th, 2023. It'll be the first venture from the legendary crooner since Him disbanded 5 years ago. 3 singles entitled Love Letting, Echolocate Your Love, and The Forever Lost have been released from the album, along with an EP entitled Gothica Phonica Volume 1, which showcases some of the songs that'll make their debut on this album. He'll be launching a tour that'll cover Europe and North America right after the album drops, and I've already got my tickets to go see him in Nashville, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, let's keep the rock a-rollin', or get the rock a-rollin', as I always say. I've got Vicious Kitty first with Struggle. I'm your host, DJ Doc, here on Ecstasy Radio. Enjoy.
You shouldn't struggle to find out who you are, and I'm fighting live by the faction, panic no more, panic no more. Trigger a reaction, live by the faction. So 10 years ago, I was haunted by the radio, systematically turning me down. Fight or flight, my battle ignites, triggering the shot that I felt that night. I'll just start my own machine. Let's rewrite this one more time. So jump into the fire, dominate desire, ignite the way. Who are they? They are so cold, break the machine. You're the machine. Panic no more, panic no more. Panic no more, panic no more. Ripping out, choking up the nerve in my spine. I can't see with blurry vision coloring my mind. Panicking frantically, an empty shell. Reaction, distraction, a never-ending spell. Redo it. Rewrite it. Jump into the fire. Dominate desire, ignite the way. Who are they? They are so cold, break the machine. You're the machine. Panic no more. Jump into the fire, dominate desire, ignite the way. Who are they? They are so cold, break the machine. You're the machine. Panic no more.
Ecstasy Radio is powered by friends over at Unique Beats, which are sponsored by One Less CBD. One Less CBD promises real relief, no pills. THC free, One Less CBD. Order yours now at onelesscbd.com. The sun is going down, he's just lighting up. Sitting on the edge of the bed, smoking his last bud. Yeah, he's sipping on a warm beer from the night before. Trying to kill the taste of bitterness that keeps coming back for more. Yeah, he's
those memories from that winter, lying naked in her arms. But tonight there's no time for broken hearts. 'Cause at 9, he's doing time down at Charlie's bar. Yeah, he's a picker, he's a painter, in a world that's gone crazy, drawing pictures with his music, making magic with his fingers, making you cry or making you smile, changing your life just for a little while, in a world gone crazy, in a world gone crazy, in a world gone crazy. Give him some of that. Yeah, he's a picker, he's a painter, in a world that's gone crazy, drawing pictures with his music, making magic with his fingers, making you cry or making you smile, changing your life just for a little while, in a world gone crazy, in a world gone crazy, in a world gone crazy.
Hey, I'm DJ Doc, and I'm here with Inner Outlines. Guys, how are you?
Doing good. How are you, man?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. So, how was your holiday, guys?
Pretty eventful, I'd say. I was personally all over the place.
Yeah, me too.
I stayed at home.
It was a good time.
Well, I'm happy that you guys had a great holiday. Did you do anything special, or just sitting around the house?
Well, I sat around the house we binge watched This Is Us on Hulu, and what me and my daughter did, and that's how we spent the holiday.
Very nice, very nice. So, guys, you are probably one of my favorite bands I've played on this show since its formation. I'm very, very, very impressed with your sound and your quality. So, I want to ask you guys, how did you form? Where did you meet?
Okay, I got this one, sure. So it was about 8 years ago whenever our drummer, who's not here with us today, Cody, had messaged me and said that he had seen some videos of my earlier singing work and was like, hey, I want to start like this kind of pop punkish kind of project. Didn't know if you'd be interested. And I left him on red for about a month. And then after that month passed, I was just kind of like, okay, you know what? Let's see what this guy's about. Never met him in my life or anything. Drove 30 minutes from my hometown to meet him for the first time. And we finally got together and jammed out a couple of things and really liked what we were going for. So we're like, okay, let's try and do this again next week with more people. So it's like, all right, cool. So next week comes around and we bring Andy into the band and our late bass player Billy, and honestly, the rest is history from there. Like, we just got together and started doing it, and we got really lucky for how far we were able to take it.
Well, I've been reading about, and we'll get into this later. I've been reading about who you shared the stage with, and you shared the stage with some big name bands like Breaking Benjamin and Pierce the Veil and Alter Bridge, Paramore.
Yeah, those are super cool
Yeah.
shows. Yep. They were really cool. They were neat.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I say definitely the Pierce the Veil one was one of my favorites. Like,
Here's the veil.
some of my
definitely.
when we open for heroes of ours like that, we usually end up with a flag to hang up in our house. So we've got a bunch of flags from shows we played as little trophies, you know.
Right. You guys, you're doing it, man. You're doing. I'm also a singer and songwriter myself, but you guys are. You guys are incredible. So what I always do is go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, I was just going to say you should send us a link to whatever you're doing after the interview.
That's it. Check your stuff out.
Right. I can do that later on. So what I always do is I always ask my listeners one question every show. This week's question is New Year's resolutions. So do you guys have any New Year's resolutions?
Right now, my biggest one is like to, it's not like a super solid one, but it's like to improve my video editing skills and my content creation skills. That's a really big one for me. Over the last couple of months, I've been really picking up the video editing, and I want to get better at that.
Very nice. Any other resolutions?
I say mine personally, mine's a pretty, like, I want to call it an easy one, but it can be tough. But basically just to love myself a little better. This past year was a little bit rougher, but this next year I'm looking forward to just doing the things that I like to do that make me feel good, and do some cosmetic changes even too, look the way I want to look and all that fun junk.
Yeah, and I just want to not be fat. But that's
You
been
have
a struggle for a number of years. But
You've been losing weight. You've been losing weight.
That's true. But realistically, for me, like it's my brain is mostly focused on business goals.
Mhm.
You know, understanding that in the music industry, you know, we have to, you know, take some sort of approach to the business side of things so that we can create longevity for our band, as
Right.
well as, you know, I have a personal photography business that's been growing over the past 18 months or so. So there's a lot of like pressure that I put on myself to continue to strive on that side of things, when realistically I just like creating art.
Right.
But without money, you know, to pay the electricity or for studio time, you don't have anything. So I've just figured out a way to, you know, create some memories for people, and I want to continue to do that.
Right. And that's awesome. That really is awesome. Guys, so where did your name come from, Inner Outlines? Where did that come from?
So Inner Outlines was kind of this idea that we had when we first started the band. It was from our late bass player, Billy, and at first we were thinking outlines, and then Billy was like, no, that's not enough. We need another word.
It's got to be deeper, man.
Yeah, it's got to be
So-
deeper. Yeah. So he ended up coining the phrase Inner Outlines, and it just stuck. And then I remember after he passed, we had a little bit of trouble deciding whether we were going to change the name or keep the name. And in the end, we decided to keep the name to pay homage to our late brother and keep his spirit alive throughout it all.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, but I know it's a touchy subject. How did you guys move forward past that, and how are you doing now since the passing of Billy?
So on that, I'd say, you know, it's been about 8 years. So we really didn't get too much time with him, but he left a really big impact on all of us. And I think a big factor in continuing forward was the way that he had shown and convinced us to just kind of hold on to each other and like just be there for each other. We literally are just a band of brothers going through life together and keeping that promise that we made to each other 8 years ago.
Right. Well, I've got a song that's coming up next. Your song, Undone. What can you tell me about that song before I play it? Where did it come from? Where did it, I know that music is written from the heart. Where in your heart did this song come from? And can you tell me a little bit more about its lyrical content?
Okay, that's me. That's me. So, Undone, like you told Andy earlier the other day, was that it was a very emotionally charged song. I remember when it was coming together that I had previously had other lyrics for it, and the night before we recorded it, I just decided to scrap over half of it. And in that state was like, okay, well, I need to come up with something that I feel represents like just the truth behind anything we do. And a lot of it came back to my own fears and struggles with anxiety and just kind of fear of the public eye in a sense, but still just wanting to be honest and upfront about that. That's really the main goal I have when I write lyrics. So Undone kind of came from this honest place right before recording to where, like, this is where I was at that time. And I love that it happened that way because I was able to just kind of learn something about myself and also like learn about others who had been feeling that same kind of pressure, that anxiousness that just kind of eats away at you. And even in the lyrical content of the song, there's like the phrase in there, today's a good day, no need to be sorry for nothing. And that's the one line out of everything that I say kind of plays devil's advocate to the rest of the message of the song. Mm-hmm. But that's kind of one of my favorite parts about lyrical content too, is just being able to kind of have that dance between a topic and everything you can think about it. I'm a very analytical person, and just being able to get every thought that I have on the subject out there in a matter of 2.5, 3 minutes, however long a song is supposed to be,
Right. It's it's like what I told you. It's a very emotionally charged song. And so we're going to hear that song now. This is Inner Outlines with Undone. I'm your host, DJ Doc, here on Ecstasy Radio. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Feel
sweet. Don't take me for a dream. Laugh for me with fun and say goodnight to a life of you and me. I hope he watches over you. I hope he loves the way you want him to.
Hey, I'm DJ Doc, and I'm here on Ecstasy Radio, and I'm also joined by Inner Outlines. Guys, we spoke before about your New Year's resolutions, but what is your 2023 schedule looking like?
Well, 2023 is looking really, really busy for us, mainly focused on the promotion of a new full-length record that we're going to be releasing in December. It's going to be a self-titled record with, I believe, 17 tracks is what we've decided at this point.
I think so.
Could be more, maybe less. I don't know. You generally would give more. But we've got an entire, set of songs that we're going to be releasing over the course of this year that are in promotion for that, as well as concerts that we'll be performing in support of that, and all of that ultimately to help release a full-length vinyl record to our fans, which they'll be able to pre-order on our website in the next 7 to 10 days. They'll be able to start pre-ordering that sort of stuff, like vinyls and other physical copies of the record. We haven't released a record for a couple of years now, and we've released a bunch of singles, so we figure it's time to give people a collection that they can hold on to and kind of get that nostalgic feeling that they used to get, whether that was at a time where they were opening Led Zeppelin records, or the new age kids that listen to like Kings of Leon on vinyl and that sort of stuff. Like we want our fans to have that experience just like we did with our favorite artists.
Right, and vinyl's coming back as a retro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Honestly.
I know a lot of bands that are actually releasing their albums on vinyl, and that's really cool. I owned a vinyl player as a kid, and I know when I pick one up and see the artwork on the inside, I feel like a kid in a candy store.
Absolutely.
So,
And with this band, so far we have created, I believe, all of our graphics, whether they were T-shirts, album arts, anything like that, has all been done kind of in-house. So we're really close to it. And seeing our artwork on those type of products, that we used to hold other people's records when we were a kid. I used to have Shout at the Devil by Motley Crue, and I would break that out of my grandpa's and play it through his old record player until he screamed at me because I was listening to the Devil's music. But it was one of those experiences that I don't think people get with streaming services anymore, and those sort of things, which all that stuff is great for promoting your stuff and having open access to any people that actually want to listen to it.
right.
But that physical copy is just a whole different thing, and I think we can all agree on that. Like the smell of a vinyl is nostalgic all in itself.
Obviously. I'm going to speak for the streaming services because I am one. So I'll speak for that. But definitely, vinyl, nostalgic as it is, it's a very powerful art medium as well. And, it's a great shout out and shout back to previous forms of media. So it's cool to see that coming back. And to see that you guys are doing that is incredible. Or to hear that you guys are doing that, that's incredible. So thank you for doing that. And that's awesome.
We're super excited about it. I definitely want to see my own record on vinyl one day.
Right? I want to see other people holding it just like that too, because that's it.
Hey, I don't blame you. So
I don't know. I kind of have always romanticized that as a musician in a band. It's like that seeing other people be overjoyed when they get a copy of something that we created is just one of the best feelings in the world, because that they're just as emotionally invested in what we do as we are.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important. And I love that our music is reaching people like yourself and giving us platforms to talk about it, as well as our fans something to take home and have for a keepsake.
No, this isn't about me, but you're making me blush. But
take a selfie and post it, tag us. I'm sure it's real.
Right. No, but you guys
makes me blush.
This is you're making me blush a little bit, guys. Thank you, but this is all for you. This is all for you, not me. But it's also for some listeners as well. But so I've got a few questions. You already answered one of them a little bit, but I want to expand a little bit on that. You guys have shared the stage with some of the biggest names in the rock world right now. Which was your favorite? You already said some of them, but which was your favorite band to share the stage with, and why? And do you have any memories, that good memories. What is the best memory that you guys have with that band, and why would you name it as your favorite to share the stage with?
I'll go first for that. My favorite was, I think, Pierce the Veil. And like my best memory of that entire thing. I mean, it was a show at the Firebird in St. Louis. And it was completely sold out. And right after we had played, there was a group of people out in the front. And they were like, they were yelling. I could not. It was incomprehensible. I had absolutely no idea what they were saying. But I like flicked a pic out there, and one of them caught it, and they went and it was great. They went kind of crazy, and I was like, that's probably my biggest rock star moment of my life. Like, it felt cool.
Awesome. And which do any of you others do you what would be your favorite? Do any of you else have any other favorites?
I would say there's one in particular that sticks out in my head just with my mentality about it. There's a band from California called Forever Came Calling, and they were on a Warped Tour documentary called No Room for Rock Stars on YouTube. And I used to watch that religiously as a kid, and Forever Came Calling was a band that actually wasn't on the tour, but they were following the tour, just kind of promoting their old stuff like they did back in the day, just running the lines and trying to get people to listen, or even sign a petition for Kevin Lyman for them to play, which they actually got to play in like their hometown date of Warped Tour.
Very nice.
And just to be able to meet those guys in person and like tell them how their journey inspired my own journey was like a really cool full circle moment for me. So that's probably got to be my favorite.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And
and my personal favorite, honest to God, is whenever we played Point Fest, where Breaking Benjamin was at, and all those crazy bands.
Alter Bridge.
Six was there, Alter Bridge. There's just this gigantic festival, and it was. That was kind of a monumental day for us because we woke up at like 6 a.m. because we had scheduled to pour a concrete patio for Matt's mom, and got the call the night before that we were added to this festival and wanted to know if we could make it. We said absolutely yes, and then tried to figure out how to get everything squared around, right?
Right.
So my father and Matt's dad, Jamie, they stayed behind when we left after getting everything kind of poured out to finish the concrete, and we went down to have our moment on the big stage. Well, we get there, and like in true rock star fashion, the crotch of my pants is blown out. So I didn't really have financial means to just go buy another $40 pair of jeans. So I just went and bought some neoprene undershorts and wore those. So I'm walking around like that. But there was a moment during the set that day when we were performing our song Halo, and I took off down the ramp and went out to the barricade and tried to get that crowd interaction from a guitar player's stance, kind of doing my thing. And Dylan looks in like, I'm gone. And usually I do this backup vocal part in there. That was one of the first times like Dylan was like on the spot, had to step in and do it, and it sounded so fucking good.
It wasn't even a backup vocal thing. It was like, Halo's a song that we have like Garrett Rapp from The Color Morale on, and one of us just always sings it because he's a busy man. So he can't come out to all our shows. So we end up singing it. And at that point, Andy was the one who sang it every time. And then I start to freak out a tiny bit because I see him on the barricade, like being cool with the people out in the crowd. But then I'm just like, oh shit, who's going to sing this? I guess it's going to be me.
And it sounded great out there out front. But like those kind of moments for me are some of like the most memorable. Like whenever I take a liberty as the older dude in the band to go out there and show people that I still got a little bit of energy left.
Right.
And know that the guys behind me on stage are just fucking murdering it. So I can just look cool and not necessarily have to sound the best.
That's awesome. So I do have a question for you. Being that you shared the stage with some of these really big name bands. Which band would you like to share the stage with that you haven't yet?
Foo Fighters.
I say, yeah, Foo Fighters. I say Sum 41.
Sum 41 would be
I
sick.
love Sum 41.
Yeah, I'd say definitely Foo Fighters. I could make a list probably a mile long. That's it would be awesome. But like A Day to Remember would be cool. Blink 182 would
Bad
be really
Flower.
awesome. Bad Flower would be crazy awesome. And there's a million bands out there now that like whether or not genre we fit with necessarily, like I would love to play with all of them. Just because it's like creating a party. And not every party has the same style of music playing for 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
So I kind of like those mixed genre shows and the festivals and those sort of things for the music listening experience. It gives something for everybody.
Right.
So, I mean, I would love to, open for some of these, what's that new age pop punk band, Honey Revenge. They're
Honey
coming through with
Revenge,
that stage
Magnolia
management.
Park.
Yeah, there's just so
these-
much talent going on. Like, I would love to share the stage with every one of them.
Yeah. I could see you guys doing a show with the Birthday Massacre. You ever heard of them?
I've heard that name before, yeah.
They're awesome. You should check them out. I can't play them on the radio station because I don't have the rights to it. But
Well, if they're listening, they should send it to your email.
yeah, well, I'll get in contact with my manager about that. But yeah, they're awesome. If you guys haven't heard from them, and another band that is awesome that I'm getting ready to play is a band called Normandy. Have you ever heard of them?
I've heard them before.
Yeah, they're awesome. They kind of remind me if Pierce the Veil met Hollywood Undead, and it's. I've got a song that I'm getting ready to play called Stride, and it's it shocks you because it's got that day and night sort of thing where you've got the rap and the rock. It's kind of like Linkin Park and nu metal, but it's not at the same time. It's kind of like if nu metal evolved a little bit and became something else. Kind of stepped it up into. I wouldn't say. I would say maybe darker ground. And it's cool though. So I am going to play Normandy by Stride by Normandy. I'm your host DJ Doc here on Ecstasy Radio, and I'm joined by Inner Outlines. Guys, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us, homie.
Everything else has been leaving me hollow. Crave a better tomorrow. I felt like I've lost, it's a hard pill to swallow. When they don't wanna see the good in you, when this is all that you believe in and you see it through, with everybody on the other side just speaking through, it only makes you wanna justify the way you speak your truth. This is all I am, a gap to a grin in the shell of a man. Will it pass all the pretenses put in the plan? Will it pass to the people that pull in my hand in their own direction? But my progression is by my discretion. Trials and lessons never close my past, so I keep trying my best, they won't hold me back.
Take it all in stride, one day at a time. So step by step I climb this mountain line. Don't lift the weight of the world on my shoulders, and when my heart couldn't get much colder, won't let my fears control my happiness.
bury me alive. I'll keep on moving forward, one mountain at a time. I take it step by step. I take it step by step.
protein. We ain't feeding any vegans on the scene. I tell you friends, we're down to burn ends. See you next week and we'll do it all again.
Smoking all night, low and slow till the morning light. 'cause I know who you are, and I've seen this all before. I'm cutting the cord. I'm cutting the cord. I think I've had enough. Shut it down. You talk too much. You're feeling like a big dog now, but your days are numbered. You were fucked up from the start. I don't wanna sympathize every time I realize, 'cause I know who you are, and I've seen this all before. I'm cutting the Tastes like sulfur, looks like sugar. Talk a lot of shit just to make you look bigger. Looking at an eagle, shooting punk in the mirror. I'm not shutting down for you. Can't you see that you're broken underneath your disguise? I don't wanna sympathize every time I realize, 'cause I know who you are, and I've seen this all before. I'm cutting the cord. I'm cutting the cord. I'm cutting the cord. I'm cutting the cord. I'm cutting the cord.
Ecstasy Radio is powered by friends over at Unique Beats, which are sponsored by One Less CBD. One Less CBD promises real relief, no pills. THC free, One Less CBD. Order yours now at onelesscbd.com.
So I thought it'd be alright if I could stay with you tonight. I've been hanging about this moment, and I don't think I could live. You called it summer fun, now it's setting with the sun. I've waited far too long for you to slip right through my hands. I want you, yeah. I've got to, but you never see, yeah. It was way, yeah. All I can remember, it was way, yeah. What I want forever, it was way, yeah. Now you're all that I can see, yeah. And you cover me in red tonight. Well, I can't go on this way, pretending everything's okay, yeah. I'm all caught up and twisted in these tangled webs we weave. I don't know what to do, 'cause I'm still in love with you, yeah. Let me be your man, you can be my everything, oh. 'Cause I love you, yeah. I want you. You never, ever, ever see, yeah. It was way, yeah. All I can remember, it was way, yeah.
can't let you go. All I've ever wanted is all right here in my arms. It was rain, all I can remember, it was rain. What I want forever, it was rain. Now you're all that I can see, yeah, and you color me. Yeah, you color me. Well, you color me in red tonight. In red tonight, yeah. It was red, yeah.
All right, I'm your host, DJ Doc, here on Ecstasy Radio. Again, I'm joined by Inner Outlines, none other than Inner Outlines. They are awesome, and I'm very excited to have them here. So, guys, I have to unfortunately end the interview. But before I do, I want to ask you, is there anything you'd like to say to your fans that might be listening out there?
Say to the fans, man, just thank you for all the support and the belief in a project that started in the basement of some grandparents' house, you know? Like,
Yeah, man.
it's only going to go up from here. We can't wait to see each and every one of you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and something else I'd like to add, you know, that business side of things, they can find us on all social medias. Everything's under Inner Outlines. We're the only band with that name, so it should be easy to find. Well, if they're listening to this, then they just need to tune in regularly to your show, Doc, so that they can continue to hear Undone on the radio waves alongside all these great bands like Normandy, who you just got done playing, and, you know, countless others.
Right. And we hope you guys will be back as well. I mean, I don't want this to be a so long and farewell and never hear from you guys again. So we hope you guys will be back, definitely.
Yeah,
We can call you tomorrow if you want.
well, you have my number.
We won't forget about you, baby.
Nah, but for sure. We talked to our drummer last night and bass player, and they definitely want to get involved on the next one. Just due to time constraints, they weren't able to be here today. But we'll shout those guys out too. Doug and Cody, they hold it down in the rhythm section. They actually had a guy hooting and hollering at them.
Yeah, you did.
Last show because they were apparently the tightest rhythm section of the night.
Your drummer and your bass player are so rad. Your rhythm section, bro. Your rhythm section.
So definitely want to shout those guys out. But they would absolutely love to get in on an interview with you as well, Doc. So we're guaranteed we're going to be back as long as you'll have us.
I will always have you guys. Always, always, always. You're always welcome here on Ecstasy Radio. Again, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Doc. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you. And that was Inner Outlines, guys. Thank you so much for being here. We really do appreciate it. I and the listeners both really appreciate it. Much love from all of us here at Ecstasy Radio. And you guys are always welcome to come back on the show. So I've got a band from Ireland, a grunge punk band from Ireland called Covanta. And their song, Be My Queen. I think you'll love them. We definitely do. Thank you again for your submission. I'm your host, DJ Doc, here on Ecstasy Radio. Enjoy.
my queen. You took my heart and you spat it back out. You're never gonna be mine. You took my heart and you spat it back out. You're never gonna be mine. You took my heart and you spat it back out. You're never gonna be mine.
the heavens above. For a moment I can see, but the high is killing me, and I will break again into a million pieces. You wonder why I keep shattering. I get lost in the pain. My life never ends. Feels like I'm drowning in the deep end. How can I access when I break into a million pieces? Yeah. Crash and burn 'em back on the earth. All the pirates and the thieves are like vultures circling. It seems like everyone in the world, yeah, they lost their honesty. It's enough to shatter me, and I will break again into a million pieces. You wonder why I keep shattering into a million pieces. My life never ends. Feels like I'm drowning in the deep end. How can I access when I break into a million pieces? Sometimes you know your work is breaking you down to a million pieces. Feels like it won't stop dragging you down. Before you know, it could all fade away. Into a million pieces. Into a million pieces. I see you're all alone in there. Into a million pieces, and I will break again into a million pieces. You wonder why I keep shattering. I get lost in the pain. My life never ends. Feels like I'm drowning in the deep end. How can I access when I break into a million pieces? I'll break into a million pieces.
Hey, I'm DJ Doc, and I'm the host of Ecstasy Radio, your number one free rock and metal radio show. This, unfortunately, concludes the end of the show. Big shout out goes to Inner Outlines for being here. We really do appreciate it. We love you, and we hope you come back. Another big shout out goes to our producers over at Unique Beats. Thank you for allowing us to be here on your platform. Thank you. And another big shout out goes to our listeners for being here. Thank you for listening in. Thank you for tuning in. We really do appreciate it, and we hope you'll be back next week. So, I am not one to leave you empty-handed. So, I've got one last song for you. You know me, I'm DJ Doc. I'll never leave you empty-handed. So, the last song I've got for you is The Priest by Metonic. I think you'll like it. Rock out. And thank you again for tuning in. I'm your host, DJ Doc, here on Ecstasy Radio. Much love comes from all of us, and I hope you guys have a safe and happy new year.